Alright, here's a question. Who is the strongest animated character in cartoons or anime? Goku? Superman? Naruto? Or maybe it's this bald-headed man. No, not Krillin. Ha! Who the fuck, Krillin? It's Saitama. A man who has a fist that will pierce the heavens and kill anything in one punch. But who is this bald hero really? And that's why we're here today, to analyze the character Saitama of One Punch Man. Let's do this.
ワンパンで終わっちまった。クソったれ。てめえみたいな悪役を一撃でぶっ飛ばすヒーローにな。就活はやめな。かかってこいこら。
Saitama has risen to be one of the most popular anime characters in the past year, and giving Monkey Boy a run for his money as the strongest anime character to be created. He is a man who can defeat things with one punch. And that's it, well, for the most part. And he starts out doing what superheroes do, and that's punching things, well, for his case. But where did the story of Saitama start? Well, it started when he was an actually normal person looking for a job. But he ran into a giant crab man who ate a little too much red lobster. And then Saitama met the Crimson Shin, where the crab man had a beef with the Crimson Shin, and Saitama then stepped in and saved him. And this pushed Saitama into wanting to be a hero for fun. But back to the present of where everything started. Saitama meets a cyborg named Genos, who is Saitama's now understudy, and also the show's punching bag, because we still need some badass fights, because most of them end on one punch. But through time, they go and defeat some big evil bad guys together, no big deal. And then they join the Avenge League, not really named that, where each hero that tries out gets a place in a tier list from C to S. And even though Saitama literally broke all the records and their equipment, turns out Saitama's not the brightest and failed the essay part, where they placed Saitama in C class and they placed Genos in S class. But from then on, we see Saitama wanting to rise out of C class because he doesn't like doing weekly hero lists, which you have to do if you're in C class. So he saves the world multiple times from other villains and natural disasters and slowly moves up the ladder where he becomes B class after a while. Problem is, when he is saving all these people and beating all these monsters, people think that he is cheating and taking all the glory from the other heroes. And well, that is basically why he doesn't move up faster. Nobody knows that he's the one actually doing all this. But at the end of the first season, Saitama takes on an enemy named Boros, supposedly the strongest being in the universe, and he was told a prophecy that someone as strong as him was out there. And this is where the One Punch Man becomes the Mini Punch Man, because well, it took a few more punches than normal to beat this man. And so far, anime wise, that is the story for Saitama. But just for a few side notes, the series did start out as a webcomic and then got turned into a manga that is shown in Shonen Jump, and then got turned into an anime, and he is voiced by Makoto Furukawa in the anime. And that is enough background for him, so let's move on.
今日も平和だ。これじゃ何にも活動できねえ。プロ失格になっちまう。
Saitama is known for being very indifferent and aloof for his approaches to things, and I think you can most likely see that in a lot of his faces. And even coming against the strongest enemies in the universe, he doesn't get flustered, because he can beat them so easily. This causes him to become bored and want to find someone as strong as him to give him a challenge. But the few times we do see him a little flustered are times in which he might miss a sale at the grocery store, or when nobody actually recognizes him as being a hero. He does show at times early on that he wants some sort of a following, but after a while he becomes alright with not being recognized for his actions and just glad that he can do this for a living, I guess, for a hobby and saving people. He also doesn't seem to really care about authority and people telling him what to do, and usually just ignores them. And the entirety of why he wants to be a superhero is just because he kind of wants to do it for fun or for a hobby, and not much more. You know, over time he seemed to care for it more, and does it to help people at times too. Saitama also seems to have trouble remembering people's names, which could be him not caring to remember, or he has really bad memory, or someone could say he thinks he's too good to remember, but I doubt it is that last one. He also gets annoyed whenever somebody points out his bald head. And he will get serious at times, in which he might have a challenge in the battle, even though usually he doesn't live up to that. But that is a basic gist of Saitama's personality.
趣味でヒーローをやっているものだ。
なんだ?
Saitama has a very simplistic main design, where his outfit consists of red boots and gloves, a black and white cape, a yellow jumpsuit, a black and gold belt, and no emblems to really be seen on his outfit like most superheroes do. The outfit is about as bland as his face, but it doesn't mean it doesn't still look badass at times. And he does wear different clothes when he's at home, and he also wears the infamous Opie jacket, the greatest piece of clothing to be sewed on this earth. Past his clothes, he is bald as a cue ball, but is in extremely good shape. His face also changes. When he is calm, he has a blank, okay face, and when he gets serious, we get the intense shonen face. Now also, before he was a hero, we see that he was wearing a suit and had spiky black hair, and his normal face was his serious shonen face that we see when he's fighting usually, or sometimes. That is the basis for his design. I think his biggest ability is pretty obvious, and if you can't figure it out what it is, then I have given up on this earth, but he is extremely strong, has extremely above human level reflexes, and he is very fast. As we can see, actually keeps up with Sonic, whose main ability is being extremely fast. And even with all this power, he can control it for the most part, even though sometimes he does overdo it. He is shown to destroy mountains with just the force of the punch, but the punch never actually hit anything. Oh, how he got these powers is a little strange.
腕立て伏せ100回、上体起こし100回、スクワット100回、そしてランニング10キロ。
And through those hard workouts, it is said that Saitama broke his limit, where he basically has infinite amount of power. And aside from his one punch attack, he gains a few more attacks in the last battle when he's fighting against Boros, where he uses consecutive normal punches, where he sends a flurry of normal punches at him, and Serious Punch, which never hits Boros, but was able to stop Boros from his collapsing star roaring cannon, and destroys Boros. And it is also basically stated that Saitama could probably have defeated Boros in a one Serious Punch before, but he wanted to give Boros a nice fight. And lastly, he has a extremely strong leaping ability, where at one point he jumped from the moon back to Earth in 16 seconds apparently. And that is why Saitama is known as one of the strongest, if not the strongest, character in anime and animation, period. That is my character profile of Saitama of One Punch Man, and I hope y'all enjoyed. Tell me if there's anything you think I should do differently with these videos. Tell me what you think about the character Saitama, and who I should probably do next too. Also tell me if you think I should tell the entire backstory, like their storyline as a character in the entirety of the show or video game that they're in, because I don't know if people mind if there are spoilers or not. And also, if I'm doing anime characters, whether I should go into the manga. I technically had not read the manga for One Punch Man, so I didn't go into it, and also a lot more people have seen just the anime. So tell me if you want me to go into the manga more if I'm doing anime characters. But yeah, don't forget to punch that like button if you enjoyed this video, and my name's Arcade Keeblet, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.